Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, and another update here. We're going to see, today you can see when we correlate this before we get into the Bitcoin chart real quick. I'm at work, got a meeting to go to. There's been a lot of activity, but you can see the dollar. The main thing that we've been watching is the dollar index to correlate the trend with Bitcoin. You can see the dollar had a nice move up. Anytime the dollar usually, and up until recent times, in the last couple of years, usually the dollar don't move 4 or 5% in a week, but the dollar pumped from its swing low over the holiday weekend before it closed all the way to today. It went up 1.38%, and it did almost 0.94 of that, 0.96 of that today in about an hour time. And when that does that, that initiates crypto and the stock market to go down. You can see if we go over to the stock market, they were all up pumping this morning, and then they all reversed. They did about a 5 to 6% major index reverse from being up 3 to 4% to being down 1 to 3%, right? And then if you go into the cryptos, let's put that light up a little bit. When you go into the cryptos, you can see this is a good time to do a video. We got rejected off that upper resistance we were talking about, right? Because we got our support on the upside above that on plan B. Our 2 tracks we made yesterday was up there at 34,000. I erased the other one that I had because it was getting in my way. You can see we got rejected off of that. And from the last time we talked this morning, there was a lot of volatility, but the volatility broke down to the downside. It broke through that blue ring, which has been acting as support and resistance for months. And then it shot through the next horizontal resistance that it broke through on the way up, right? And then it broke through the orange fib circle. And it's trying to sit there now, and you can see right where we dumped down to, right? If we go on here, get back on here. I don't like the way it does that. If we go on here and zoom out to the 2-hour time frame, why does this volume indicator always disappear on me? I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. And then I almost hit that guy. You can see, just throwing that up here quick, you can see right there, it's in that white support zone, and that's your major area for the volume, right? On your way down, it should act as some support, at least short term, and we wick down right to the 200-day moving average, where all the moving averages are, where it's trying to bounce right into the middle of the supply zone, right? This is the supply zone. On the downside, it was trying to act as resistance. Thank you. Have a good one. On the way, you can see when you came through it last time, it tried to act as a brief support, and then it acted as brief resistance, then brief support, right? And then resistance, or support on the bottom side. Then on the way down, it acted as support the first time, then resistance once it got in there. So this is your major volume profile area. It starts at 30,253. And the bottom end of that we've been talking about for days now is 29,093. This is what the white lines are, and this is where the major volume is. And you can see we had one on the upside right there, which coincides with the top. This one should be, I just threw it up quick. It's the top part of where the sellers could be on the way up or where the buyers could be on the way down. The same thing right here. This is your last line. If you flush down to here, there should be buyers there, just like there could be buyers here, right? But there's a lot of sellers down here too. And if you sell below this, your next major bar, your buying bar, is it's way down, right? There'd be a big fall. It'd be down towards the double bottom. So that's what we're watching out for here. This is what you stayed in and briefly broke down out of over the weekend. And now you're coming back up to the upside, right? Or coming back down through it. That's your major areas to watch. If this comes and has a catastrophic flush through this major volume area, you're likely to trade down towards that double bottom low, but that's a long ways away, and we have a lot of things to take care of before that time comes, right? And then if we look at XRP real quick, wherever XRP is, you can see we're still sitting on the top part. We're back testing this now from what we broke out of the other day, and that's what we were talking about last night, that we would most likely have to come back and back test this. And right now we are. And if you can't hold this as support in XRP, see this as we zoom in, you can see it beautifully as you back test this major descending upper resistance. What is going on? This major descending upper resistance right here. See that? If we pull out our perching tool real quick, you see it resistance, 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 resistance the whole way down. And then we have through that brief wick down, which I still think eventually we're coming back down to. You started getting supported right along in there about the 39, 38 cents. And then you briefly broke above that, but you got harshly rejected by the 200-day. And if you break this, you're most likely coming back down to retest a 37-cent low. And if we put a horizontal ray there, that's what this was, and then moved it down. This is where you would come down to if you can't hold this as support right here, right? So we'll give you a little drawing here in a brief second. Hold on. That's a good spot. See, if you can't hold this, what you're likely to do is come back down and back into this triangle, right? Now, if you want to get bullish, you got to hold this and then start to trade back up and breach this 200-day moving average. See how that works as we zoom in? So what you got going on here, if we delete that, if you want to get bullish, you have to bounce off of this back test right here where you're wicking down to, and then when you hold this, you need to pump up and breach the 200-day and then start to hold that as support, and then you can be off to the races with your next major overhead resistance. As we know, we've been talking about it ad nauseum. You got your first one up at about the 52 cents or the 48 cents, and then you got another one at 61 cents. But if you can't hold this back test as support right here, I can't emphasize this enough. You're going to come down real quick down to that underneath support at 37, and then you got to watch to see, can you retest and pump back up, or is this going to come back down and double bottom, and then we got to figure out what's going on, because this is your double bottom low, right, that you would have to touch if you break down out of this. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love. Peace and love.